Chung, your go-to for all things marketing, mindset, and manifestation. I grew my online business from 0 to beyond 6 figures in 8 months. My purpose is to empower women to step into the highest, most aligned versions of themselves. If you are ready to take charge of your life, learn how to design a wildly successful business, and leave limiting beliefs behind, you've come to the right place. You will learn the actionable tips and step-by-step strategies on money, manifestation, and social media. It's time to step into your role as boss, to raise your vibration and tap into your unlimited potential today. Welcome to the Social Reset Podcast. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. Before I jump into today's very juicy episode on why your manifestations aren't coming to fruition, I want to remind you that I am hosting my first non-business related offer, Divine Manifestation. It's a 3-week online course with pre-recorded lessons and a component of live calls and coaching, of course, by me to help you manifest anything you want. If you want to come in and manifest your next client, a 10K month, don't even have to be a business owner. You can manifest your dream car. You can learn to manifest a partner, more aligned friendships into your life, more joy, more flow in your day-to-day, literally anything that your heart desires. I'm going to teach you my manifestation formula, and I'm going to personally coach you inside the private Facebook group and the 3 live calls on manifestation and making manifestation a effortless second nature thing to you. What I'm really going to be focusing on is a couple of things. Of course, I'm going to be breaking down my entire manifestation formula. I'm going to keep it really simple, but I'm going to be focusing on energy and your relation to energy, because I honestly think that when you understand that and it makes sense to you, and you don't just think of manifestation as journaling or meditating or repeating mantras and affirmations, when you really understand the laws of the universe and energy and frequency, like we use and throw these words around a lot, and I really make it my effort to not just throw out fluffy lingo, and make sure you understand how you can be a master manifester by understanding your energy and your vibration and becoming a match to what you desire. And I don't like that. Those are not just fancy words. You literally in your life, through becoming and through taking action, you literally become a match to your desire, and you just speed through time. Like time isn't even an essence anymore when you recognize the power that you hold in your energy. And when you're able to unlearn and release old beliefs and patterns and identities and cut cords that no longer serve you, you could literally have anything. You're open to receiving anything. Okay. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit in this episode. But if you have been wanting to work with me, you have a desire on your heart that you've been wanting to manifest, and you want my eyes on your manifestation practice, how you're becoming the version of yourself to receive this into your life, opening up yourself to that unlearning, rewiring, all of it, get inside Divine Manifestation. The investment is only $333. You get lifetime access to the entire course, all of the calls, and we start on Monday, August 15th. All right. So I will see you in there. I'm really, really excited about this one. Okay, so let's talk about what's happening when your manifestations are not manifesting. So I'm going to go through a couple of things because it can be so many different things. There never is just one clear-cut answer. It just doesn't work that way. Being a human, it could always be a whole variety of things, combination of things. So I'm going to go in no particular order. I have a little list in front of me. So let's actually first talk about being open and receiving, because this is a really important one. So say you're manifesting something and you are stepping into that identity. You are really you're becoming the version of yourself that you need to be to have this desire, right? You are stepping into that version of her or them, right? And you are really like you're embodying this person. You're taking aligned action. You're doing the motions that feel good to you, that feel aligned to you. And it feels like you're stepping into this higher version of yourself, but it's still not manifesting. It's still not happening. Sometimes we are so focused on the manifestation that we forget to open ourselves to receive. We forget to open ourselves to actually receive the manifestation. So this is what I mean. We declare a manifestation and we put it out in the universe, right? And then say it's like you want to manifest $1,000, right? You don't even have to be a business owner. You just want to see $1,000 come into your life. Doesn't matter how. So the thing that you do afterwards is you start controlling everything, right? You start looking at all of the ways that you're supposed to be making money. And then you start like counting it down to like the dollar, which like, again, there's nothing wrong with these actions that I'm going to share. It's the energy in which you're coming from, right? So if you're coming from this place of like checking your finances and feeling really abundant and feeling really rich and feeling really wealthy and sitting with your money and going on a money date, that is amazing. That is going to attract even more money. But when you come from a place of weaponizing it against yourself, using it as a weapon to either shame yourself or remind you why you're not further along, like that is when it really starts doing harm, right? So when you start controlling and you start getting into that energy of like, why is it not coming? Why is it not here? When is it going to come? Checking every single day, right? It's like placing an order online and then just like tracking every single street corner, right? Or being in the back seat and going like, I thought it was going to be here. Oh, I thought it was going to be here today. Oh, you have to turn left on this corner. Oh, I have to make sure that it arrives on time, right? That's really clingy, desperate energy that the universe is not attracted to, that nobody would be attracted to, right? If you're dating somebody and you're constantly on them, or you ask them to do something for you, or like say you're waiting for a marriage proposal from your partner that you've been with for a while, you know that they're the one and you know that they're going to propose because you're in a committed relationship and you both love each other so much and you've talked about it. And you just know they're going to propose. And every single time you go on a date or every single time they have a surprise for you or give you a gift, you're like, oh my God, is it this? Is it this? Is it this night? Is it that night? Is it that date? Is it this trip? Is it, oh my gosh, you're like so constantly like desperate. And you keep asking them like, when is it going to happen? When are you going to do this? Why are you not doing it yet? What's wrong with you? Oh my God, I thought you said you were going to marry me, right? Like they're going to start being like, whoa, this is overwhelming. It might not even make them want to do it right away. Or maybe they already had plans for it, but it's like ruining the moment because you're so in this like desperate energy of wanting it to happen. Imagine being just so laid back, like you know it's going to happen. You trust it's going to happen in the right timing. You're not even really worried about it because you're just so happy with your partner. And it doesn't matter if you have a ring or not. It doesn't matter if you have, a wedding or not. You're just so happy to be with them. That energy is going to call in the most magnificent, proposal because you're just in such a laid back, surrendered energy, right? You allow yourself to be open and to receive and to release the how. That's a really big part of manifestation, is allowing yourself to release the how. Yes, we get to declare the what. Yes, we get to declare, how it's going to impact our lives and how it's going to help us become our higher selves. But we do not get to control the how, right? Like how it manifests into our lives, how it comes in. We don't get to control that. When it comes in, we don't get to control that, right? That is up to the universe and up to what is in the highest order of the universe and everybody involved. So that's a really important aspect, is releasing the how and being open to receiving, right? Sometimes we set a manifestation in the middle of the day or in the beginning of the day, and we're just like, go, 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 one thing to the next, to the next, to the next. We're so busy. We're so busy. We never even allow ourselves to be open to receiving the manifestation, right? So this is a little bit different than releasing the how. Releasing the how has to do more with control. Being open to receive has more to do with actually allowing yourself to be still and really receive the download or the thing, or be open, right? Like, we could be manifesting a partner, but like every single time we go to the bar, we're just like closed off. Maybe we bring like, I don't know, like a book with us or something, and we don't talk to anybody, right? Like, you're so closed off. It's like, if you're manifesting a partner, right, you want to be, open, and you want to seem available, and you want to be able to have conversations with different people, see who you like, right? Date around a little bit, and you want to be able to be open to receiving. You don't want to just close yourself off to every single opportunity when the universe is trying to present you your manifestation. So being open to receive is another really, really big one that you want to check yourself on. If there's something you're manifesting and you are subconsciously closing yourself off to it, how are ways that you can feel more open? How are ways that you can just take baby steps towards it? Okay, another reason why your manifestation might not be manifesting is you're holding on to old identities and you're not cutting cords. So for a really long time, I have been manifesting a partner into my life, and I'm single right now. And I've been officially single for the past like 3 or 4 years. And for that time, I've been manifesting a conscious, intentional partner to come into my life, right? And I did, by the way. And we're no longer together because it just isn't aligned to the seasons of life that we are stepping into. And I'm very at peace with it because I have a very, spiritual outlook on it. I've come to really good terms with it. But when I was manifesting a conscious partnership, I had to release this old on and off relationship that has been going on for almost a decade in my life, right? I knew that it was fun and convenient and easy. And so it was really easy to fall back into that pattern. And it was easy because it just didn't take a lot of work. It didn't involve me having to go out and meet new people and do new things and, open myself to new opportunities, which I don't know, maybe if you're really extroverted, like you really love doing that, but I'm pretty introverted. I know that comes as quite a shock to some of you, but I'm actually a very introverted person. I feel like I'm an introverted extrovert. I can definitely be an extrovert with like certain people and certain energies, but I would say most of the time I can be pretty shy and I can be a bit of an introvert, especially when it comes to dating. So anyway, I essentially, would fall back into this pattern, and I knew it wasn't serving me, but it was just so comfortable and it was just so like embedded in who I was because I've known this person for so long, and I knew that it was not wasn't something that was serving me. It wasn't something that was serving him, but it was something that we just did for so long. And I knew if I wanted to attract a conscious person into my life, I was going to have to cut cords. And so eventually, of course, I did. And it was really painful. And it wasn't, a one like night, like it didn't happen overnight where I was just like, okay, cool, decided, done, all good, right? It was difficult. It was a gradual process. It took, some time. It took conversations. It took having the willpower to not slip back into it again, right? It's very easy to do that. At least it was for me in this situation. And when I did, I attracted the most conscious, intentional person that I've ever met in my entire life. And we had such an amazing relationship for over a year and a half, close to 2 years. And it was such an incredible experience to be just to be held by such a sacred masculine man that had done the work and had gone to therapy and had worked with coaches, and he was a coach himself. And there was just so much beauty in that relationship. It was so divine. It was so like there were so many things that he taught me and things that I taught him. It's really funny because he was saying, because like we've worked with each other essentially in different areas, and he was like, man, you've just taught me so much more than I feel like I ever could have taught you, right? He was very like strategic and very like masculine focused, very action focused. And now he's just incorporated so much surrender and flow that I never thought I would see in him ever. And it was really beautiful, right? Like if I did not let go of that old pattern of falling back into the same relationship over and over and over, I never would have attracted somebody that was so intentional and kind and loving and thoughtful and just everything, like great communication, everything was on point. And so yeah, that's a really big one. And that's really hard. I think especially when there are karmic relationships. So karmic relationships are when you know this person from a past life. So the person that I was on and off with, I knew them in a past life. Not that, I don't know, I don't think they would agree with me, right? This is just like I've done a past life regression. I've seen who we were in past lives together. You have to be like open and ready to have that, not that conversation. I haven't had that conversation with him, but to be able to accept and receive it in that way, right? So I knew for this person that was like on and off in these toxic cycles, I just knew that we were here in this lifetime to create peace with one another. And we're not meant to be together in this lifetime. Neither partners were meant to be together in this lifetime, which again, I've come to peace with. I'm not like broken over it, because I just know that there's so much purpose that soulmates, and again, I believe in multiple soulmates. I believe that you have multiple soulmates throughout your life. And the old paradigm of like marriage or stigma around divorce is just like, it's an old paradigm. I just believe that you should be in partnerships. And this is, again, just my opinion. You should be in partnerships as long as they feel aligned to the highest order for each person. And when it no longer feels that way, then it's time for the soul contract to be up and to move on. And so there are things that people teach you in different seasons of your life with different people in your life, and it all gets to be really beautiful. So a relationship ending does not need to be a failure. It could literally be seen as a success. The relationship has done exactly what it needed to do. So yeah, I think that's a tricky one, is releasing old identities and patterns, because they can have such a grip on you, especially if it's a story or a belief that you've been told your whole life. A lot of us have this around money, right? If it's not relationships, it's money. Those are just really big ones that our entire society has a lot of scarcity over, right? So you hear a lot of things like, oh, relationships never work out, and like men ain't shit, blah, blah, blah. It's just from these very like scarcity, these are just things that like people say all the time. And so it's, difficult to create abundant thoughts, intentional thoughts around relationships. And then for money, we're always saying things like more money, more problems. Money's the root of all evil. So we've demonized men and relationships and money. And I've actually done a lot of work around money. I've also done a lot of work around healing the masculine and healing the relationship with men in my life. Men who have hurt me, men who are still currently in my life, like my dad, right? People that I really, really value the relationships with, Alaska's dad, right? So those things are all rewirable. Okay. But the point I'm trying to make is, because they're so ingrained in us, because a lot of us pick these up from childhood, seeing our parents' marriage, seeing how our parents handle finances. Unfortunately, our subconscious mind grows from the age of 0 to 7. And so we just pick up everything that's in our environment. And because we're so young and we are not really taught to critically think at that age, we just take it on as truth, right? It's in my mastermind today. We were talking about how frequency creates truth. When something is said over and over and over to you, especially as a child, but also as an adult, we just claim it as true. things that have no claim, things that don't even necessarily, you don't necessarily agree with. Or if you like really broke it down, you're not really sure if this is what you believe. We've literally just taken on so much as truth just because it's been told to us frequently over and over and over and over, right? And we never really stop to think like, is this really what I believe? Is this really what I want to, what I want to take on as an intentional belief? So it's worth sitting with, right? It's worth sitting with a journal and just sitting and looking at your beliefs and asking yourself wholeheartedly, what do I believe about love? What do I believe about money? What do I believe about business? What do I believe about becoming wealthy and seeing what comes up for you? It could literally be as simple as that. Your brain and your body doesn't make it that difficult to tap into your thoughts. So just allowing yourself to open up that dialogue and ask those questions and see what happens, see what you hear, what do you feel, what do you experience, what comes through for you, and write those things down. You might be shocked at what you are hearing. It might not be what you thought you were believing, but a lot of these are subconscious thoughts that are embedded in us that are not even our fault. It's from our parents, it's from our upbringing, it's from our environment. It's not our fault. It's not our fault that we have shitty beliefs. It's society, right? We've created as a society such a fearful outlook of life. Everywhere we look, all the news channels, everything is so rooted in fear. The conversations that we have, I grew up in an Asian household, in my Asian culture, and a lot of it's very much rooted in fear. My mom always goes to the worst case scenario. Everything's worst case scenario, right? Like as soon as the light comes on in my car and I bring it up, or she sees it if I'm driving away, she's like, oh my God, you have to take that immediately to go get it fixed. Like I know one time, like I didn't change my oil and my car volume was an emergency, and you're driving your daughter. Oh my God, like everything is just so like it's so, and I did not pull that out of my ass. She literally said that to me like 5 times this week because I mentioned that I need to change my oil. Like I'm gonna get it done. I'm an adult. I've done it a million times before on my own, but yet she still feels the need to want to control, right, the situation so that she can feel less fearful. And that's the concept that's really common between a lot of our parents is that concept of fear. Okay, so that was number 2. Number 1 was releasing the how. Number 2 was being open to receiving. Number 3 is allowing yourself to shed old identities and old patterns that are no longer serving you. Number 4 is simple. Number 4 is impatience. We are so impatient. We live in a society where food, drinks, sex, people, anything could be delivered to our doorstep, right? We've got Tinder, we've got Grindr, we've got DoorDash, we've got Uber Eats. We have everything that can literally be delivered to us that we either go and pick up, meet up with, or gets delivered to our door within 20 minutes or less, right? We live in such a world where things are, we live in a digital age. There's just so much beauty in living in the digital age and technology, but it also kind of fucks with our mind because when it comes to energy, literal science, things, first of all, time doesn't exist. Okay. So it's not a matter of like, I'm not trying to say that like, oh, the digital age has like primed us to believing everything happens instantaneously. Yes, I am saying that, but I'm also saying that there's like an entire quantum field and where time literally doesn't exist. Right? But at the same time, it does take time for things to integrate. And there is a buffer between our manifestations actualizing and our thoughts, right? Or else we would think of an elephant and then an elephant would appear in the room, right? There has to be a bit of a buffer. There has to be that or else there would be complete chaos. So what I want to remind you is that we have been primed that we live in a microwave generation, right? I always say the microwave is just not fast enough for us. I know that because I eat everything in sight. And when I put something in the microwave, I just immediately like want to take it out and have it be ready so I can scarf it down my mouth. But yeah, when it comes to our manifestations, sometimes it takes a little bit of time because we're just not yet a match, or else it would have come into our life already, right? It would already be ours. The reason we're manifesting it is because we're becoming a match to it. Over time, we become more and more of a match to it. And sometimes you are already the match. You are already a clear match for this desire, but it's just not the right timing. So sometimes it's not that it's not coming, it's just that it's not here yet. And when it does come, oh my gosh, it's going to be the most incredible timing, the most incredible season of your life. Everything falls into place, and it's just like you could get it now, but oh my gosh, what if it happened later in the year after you've learned these lessons you need to learn, and when the timing is just like mwah, just like chef's kiss. That's what the universe has prepared for you, but we don't see that far because we want things to happen now. We want it to happen yesterday, right? My daughter wants if it's not happening today, it's not happening ever, right? She's like very much just like lives in the moment, wants things to happen instantaneously. She's also a manifester, so she's like meant to make things happen. And when like I say no to her sometimes insane requests, she just doesn't understand why I'm saying no. I gave this example a little bit ago, but I'm going to give it again because it's such a good example that sometimes, so imagine you're a baby and you want to go on a play date with your, or you want to like play with your toys, right? Like you just want to like sit there and play with your like blocks or whatnot. And your mom is saying, no, you have to go to bed, right? And you don't want to go to bed. You want to play. But what you don't know is that your mom is putting you to bed so that you can take a nap. So because when you wake up from that nap, you're going to have a play date with your best friends as a baby or a toddler. And your mom wants you to be well rested so that you can actually enjoy yourself. That I feel that the universe is that so much of the time for us, right? Even this like very, very conscious relationship I had that ended, I'm so at peace with it because I'm like, this is my mindset. If I was able to manifest such an incredible, intentional, healed man like I did, that was so kind to me, that was so generous and loving and loyal to me from beginning to end, oh my gosh, the universe has someone so incredibly spectacular if they're even more aligned to me than this person was. That is my outlook on it. I don't think, oh, why didn't the universe make this exact relationship work for me? Like, oh my God, like the universe never listens, right? Like that could be one way to look at it, but I choose to look at it in the way that the universe has my best desires in mind. And the universe knows my heart. The universe knows that I've been manifesting a conscious partnership. And there's a lot of things about this relationship that wouldn't have worked, right? My partner at the time wanted kids, and I know for a fact I do not want any more kids. Alaska's the only child that I will ever have. And you know, my partner at the time also wants to travel the world and work from anywhere, and I'm pretty glued to the Bay Area for the next decade or so because I'm co-parenting here and I can't just pick up and move because Alaska's dad lives here. And so that's just I have roots here for at least a little bit longer, and I'm my grandma's caretaker. I also take care of my parents who are getting older, and so that's I feel like that's my duty as the eldest child and also as a mother. And so I'm here, and that's what I've decided. As much as I would love to travel the world and do different things, this is what I have decided. And so I trust that the universe is going to bring me someone that is even more aligned, even if that doesn't feel aligned in the moment. I might not understand completely, even though I have I'm a good idea. I don't know, maybe I don't. Maybe I really don't even know the extent in which this manifests. But I have to imagine that the universe has something pretty incredible for me because I am not dragging this on, now that it's no longer aligned, and because I'm open and I'm receiving and I'm doing the work, and I've worked with relationship coaches and I've been to therapy, and I'm constantly working on my personal development to be an incredible partner to somebody else. And so I know that the universe is bringing me someone who's currently doing that same work right now. So yeah, that's how I feel about the universe looking out for us and our desires. And sometimes we're so impatient because we think, well, I want it now. It would be really good now, right? But I also, here's another example. Here's a business example. I wanted a 6-figure business from the moment I started my business. But the reason I didn't get it when I first started my business in like the first month or the second month is because I wouldn't have been able to handle the volume of a 6-figure business. I wouldn't have been able to do my clients right. I wouldn't have been able to do right by them because I didn't know what I was doing in the beginning. You know, I just knew that like, oh, eventually I'd love for this to be a 6-figure business. But I'm so glad I didn't get it when I wanted it, because there were so many lessons for me to learn. I had to trial and error over and over again. I had to start as a social media coach and then pivot my niche into a business coach, and then, you know, business manifestation and spirituality, it all into my coaching, because I ended up coaching clients that I realized I didn't want to coach. I coached on topics that I realized I didn't want to coach, and it helped me figure out who my aligned clients were, my fuck yes 10 out of 10 clients were, and it helped me figure out exactly what I want to coach on, which I got so clear on, right? There's no way I could have made 6 figures. There's no way, even if I did make 6 figures, I wouldn't be able to handle the influx of students. I would just drop the ball. I would have to apologize to a lot of students and say, hey, I'm so sorry. I'm just working with so many people right now. This is just, I'm in over my head. I didn't have any team members working for me in the very beginning. Right now, I have a part-time executive assistant who is incredible and is so detail oriented and literally like is my second brain. My mom, I have retired from corporate, so she handles all of my finances and taxes and everything numbers that I literally cannot handle. And it takes such a weight off my shoulders to know that I have 2 people that I can really count on and that I know are going to have my back. And I did not have that in the beginning at all. Like there's no way I would have been able to manage a 6-figure sales income, not even knowing shit about fuck, right? So yeah, it's just, we have to be patient, because there are sometimes specific lessons we need to learn in order to become the person that can receive our manifestation, right? I had to learn the lessons I needed to learn in order to become the version of me that is now a multi-6-figure business owner that can handle multi-6 figures of revenue, multi-6 figures of clients, multi-6 figures of everything. I can handle it now because I've learned those lessons. That's not to say that that goes to everything. There are some things I've manifested that have happened almost instantaneously where I was like, whoa, right? So there's definitely quantum leaping and jumping and timeline hopping when I 100% believe in that, right? But I would say for a lot of things, we do have to exercise a little bit of patience. It's just a part of being in the human, it's just a part of living in the 3D physical world where things don't just happen instantaneously because we're living in the human experience, right? This is what our souls signed up to do. In different realms, things happen instantaneously, but in this realm that we've chosen to be in on Earth, it just doesn't happen this way. So we do have to accustom ourselves to that way of living, even because our souls decided to be here. Okay. So that is my spiel on patience, which was number 4. And then I kind of already touched on this. I feel like I talk about it a lot, but it's your beliefs, right? Number 5 is your belief system. And this is really self-explanatory, but maybe it's not for some of you. So your beliefs create your reality. whatever you believe, whatever you tell yourself, whatever you're telling yourself on a daily basis, whatever's going through your brain, whatever thoughts you're having about yourself, about your money, about your business, about your life, your partner, your family, your kids, whatever, right? That is all going to show up in your reality. And I talk about this a lot, so I'm sure this is not new to most of you who are in my world and who that apply this in your lives every day, which I know that most of you, if you're listening to this, you're a fucking badass and you take this shit seriously. Like, you are so serious about what you're manifesting. Why else would you be listening to a podcast like this, right? Like, you take this work seriously because you want to become a better version of yourself, and that's why you're my people. So your beliefs, right? Like, what do you believe? And more importantly, because I've already kind of touched on this, and like journaling prompts and sitting with like, what do I really believe about money? What do I really believe about business, right? Like, those are obviously things that you should absolutely do if you haven't done already. But I really want to talk about this in terms of your beliefs in the way that you speak to yourself. So here's what I mean. I think that the way that you accept yourself and release shame, and the way that you approach self-kindness is so important. It's so important. Because that's really going to rule the energy in which you decide to show up as, right? This is the version of you that is making decisions on a daily basis. So when your manifestations are not manifesting, I keep wanting to say manifestationing. When they're not manifesting, it could be pinpointed back to a certain belief, a subconscious belief, an unintentional belief you have created about that thing, and the way you talk to yourself about it, right? So for example, like, you don't have the manifestation that you want, or it doesn't come on a certain timeline, and you say, well, of course it didn't. It's because of this, right? Or like you blame this or that, or maybe another person, or maybe a situation that happened, just to really avoid looking at doing the inner work and actually rewiring your thoughts. I think it's really easy. Like, it's an easy cop out for us to be like, oh, well, it didn't happen because of that. Like, that is the reason why, right? Or like, not even blaming someone else, like just saying like, I don't know why that didn't manifest. Maybe it just wasn't for me, right? But if you really sit and you sit and really look at like, okay, let's actually, like, without the self-judgment, without the negative self-talk, why didn't this manifest? Why didn't anyone sign up for this offer that I put out there? Why didn't I get that job that I applied for? Right? And I promise you, when you take out the self-judgment and the self-deprecation, right? Like, you really allow yourself to get curious from a place of like, let's really think about this. And you approach it with kindness and self-love and self-acceptance and non-criticism. You allow yourself to open to a world of opportunity, right? You allow yourself to really, really, really look at the beliefs that come up when you don't get what you want. Because I think it's really easy to look at our beliefs and celebrate wins when we get what we want and there's no lesson learned. But when you don't get what you want, how do you speak to yourself? What are some things that you say to yourself? What are things that are happening in that moment with your brain? Partnering with your brain, partnering with your mind is a really big part of this. Loving yourself through it is a really big part of this. And so I want that to be very clear, because there's no way you're going to reach your manifestations shitting on yourself and talking down on yourself. And then the last thing that I want to bring up here in why your manifestations are not manifestationing, that one I did on purpose, is because you're creating this really rigid structure around how manifestation should look. You are forcing yourself to manifestation journal every single day. You're forcing yourself to meditate every day when you really fucking hate it. You're forcing yourself to do mantras all of the time, and you're not even like feeling into it. You're just doing it for the sake of doing it, right? Manifestation is not a do. You cannot do your way through manifestation. It's like you can't do your way through yoga, right? You have to feel into it. You have to breathe into it. You have to really embody it, right? This is embodiment work. This is integration work. Becoming this version of yourself cannot be done through an action list. It has to be an identity work. It has to be work that you're embodying as a human being. That's why when I'm teaching this course, Divine Manifestation, that starts on Monday, I'm focusing a lot on helping you understand your energy and your relation to energy, and how you can manifest anything when you become a match to it. So that way you're not stuck in this cycle of doing, and trying to make things happen or force things to happen, or think that you need to show up in this really rigid structure or morning routine, right? You get to manifest in every single day. Manifestation is happening all the time. You never turn it on or off. Right? You're always manifesting something. You're always sending a signal to the universe based on what you want, based on how you feel, your energy. That's why I want it to become second nature for you. That's what I'm teaching in this course. Is it doesn't need to look like a rigid structure. It doesn't need to look like structure at all. Manifestation is just like breathing. It's something that you are already doing, right? These tools can help, of course, but if you're using it as a weapon to force yourself to show up in every single day, it can actually do more harm than helping you. And that's what I really want to get clear on in this 3-week course, is I want you to create an understanding of manifestation that works for you and your brain and your energy and your human design, and really let it be effortless and easy. Okay. So if you want to work with me and you feel called to my teachings and the way that I coach, and you have a desire on your heart that you would really love to manifest and you would really love the help in manifesting it, I invite you into Divine Manifestation. We're going to be working together for 3 weeks in a private Facebook group. It's an online course that is pre-recorded, and you get lifetime access to it. And the first module drops on Monday, August 15th. And then the second module drops the week after that. And then the third and last module drops after that. And then every week, every Friday, you have a live Q&A call with me to answer any questions you might have. You get coached on whatever you need coaching on inside the Facebook group or on those calls. And my focus is to really help you understand how easy manifestation can be and how you deserve all of your desires. Everything that you desire is also desiring you. And I just think that there is so much about manifestation that is taught in a way that doesn't necessarily serve people who are neurodiverse or maybe don't feel aligned to women of color. And so I really want you to step into your most master manifester self and learn to partner with your brain, with your energy, and really make it so effortless for whatever you want to bring to life. All right, I hope to see you inside. The link is in the show notes. It's also in the link in my bio on Instagram at tiffanychung.co. That's CHEUNG.co. And if you have any questions or you want some support making your decision, just DM me. I'm always open to having those conversations and making sure that it's a fuck yes. And yeah, I'd love to see you inside, and have a beautiful rest of your day. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe. If this episode resonated with you, please take a screenshot, share it on your Instagram stories, and tag me at tiffanychung.co. I truly appreciate interacting with every one of you. Catch you all on the next one.